Please answer when your name is called. I'm sure we have all heard this attention getter at different times and at different places in our lives. However, our spiritual calling really begins when we are called by name at our baptism. We may not be too aware of how and when the various stages of our spiritual development occur until we pay attention to the number of times we are called during our lifetime. There may also be long gaps of time before something happens to remind us of who we really are as children of God and to realize we are all brothers and sisters of Christ and in Christ, and what that means. To me, it means we are always in process of becoming what God created us to be. The reading from Isaiah today hints we are formed as God's servant before we are born. We are called to serve first our family, then our community, and finally our church. When we listen to and act on our callings, we affect the world in a positive way. I would like to share a brief outline of my spiritual journey, which took place when it started at 12 years old. I was confirmed and was told that I would now be a soldier of Christ. So I served our country by joining the United States Marine Corps when I was not quite 18. I was married at 21 while still a Marine. After a period of time and expectation of a second child, circumstances had us decide for me to enlist into the United States Coast Guard. And during the ensuing years, we were blessed with 4 wonderful children. It was while stationed in Hawaii when I said my first yes as an adult to be a Eucharistic minister. And since then, Joanne and I have experienced a number of calls that we said yes to. For instance, Marriage Encounter, Cursillo, Life in the Spirit seminars, and last but not least, I was called and ordained a deacon in November of 1982. Most of our decisions were mutual, and a very important decision for us to make. Early on, Joanne and I had the privilege to visit Rome. There, I served as a deacon of the Mass in the Cathedral of St. Peter at the chair of St. Peter. I also served at the altar and the tomb of St. Francis of Assisi in Assisi, as well as the altar of St. Stephen and St. Lawrence in Rome. 20 years ago, Joanne and I had the opportunity to go on a pilgrimage to the Holy Land with Father Healy. Each of these experiences was beyond our wildest expectations and our dreams. However, you can be sure many events in our lives were not without heartache, tears, and we all have our moments of loss and wit's end. In other words, when we say yes to serve, the consequences will not always be according to our expectations. But here I am now, recruiting for Christ the King here in the parish. We have many talented people here in our parish who can be of service somewhere in the various ministries that are listed in our welcome packet. If you are so inclined, you may inquire at the parish office. And remember to pray before you make a decision to take the risk. Be aware, God works in mysterious ways and is always in control. The invitation is always open. Please answer when your name is called and continue to grow in His love, peace, and joy.